16 Banelings being morphed, 4 Corruptors on the field to take out those drop ships, also known as medvacs, and 8 Infestors on the way. They're all going to be having 1 fungal growth each. These Banelings melt away a few Marines, but they're not very cost effective. You really want to see him flank from multiple angles here if he can help it. Oh, really nice engagement here from the Zerg. He does blow up a whole bunch of Marines. Those are really cost-effective Banelings, and you can see the frailty of this Marine strategy if it does not work out. But he still is playing very well. He lands some fungal growths on these Marines and a whole bunch on the medevacs. So these Marines are going to be cleaned up, and if we can get these medevacs, that will help him out a ton. We should see another fungal growth go down, but not a great one there. These Marines are still at full health even after taking that fungal growth right to the face. Zerg still just trying to remacro up. Broodlords are on the way, which is a fabulous response to these Marines. 40 Zerglings coming, and the Terran player still just cranking out Marines. You can see him producing 15 at a time on the kind of income that he has. This is really scary for the Zerg player, but he almost just feels like he's right on the cusp of breaking through this. This is such a close game right now. These Infestors do need to probably burrow or hide somewhere so they don't get taken out and waste all that while they're still building up energy. Those Marines are cleaned up. So this Corruptor really wishing that he had some buddies behind him to clean up the rest of these medevacs. They're going to fly away to safety over to these Marines. But you have to wonder how quickly those Broodlords are going to come up and if the Terran player is going to have a response for this. Checking back in the Terran player's main, you can see all these reactor barracks are just pumping out Marines as fast as they possibly can, but there's no other tech on the field right now. So if he does let these Broodlords get out of control, he's going to be in a lot of trouble, especially with Infestors backing it and Banelings. Here come the Infestors again. They're going to be rolling up, probably landing a fungal growth as soon as possible, but he might get the Terran player to commit into a position he does not want to be in. This Broodlord's going to have nice vision here, or rather nice position here on the high ground. The Corruptors come in. They do not want to sacrifice themselves for nothing since they're not doing anything yet. Oh no, and he loses all of his Infestors to those Marines, so that's very bad, but these Broodlords really need to get to work and stay safe. This is basically all he has right now. He really needs to be careful and not let these Marines run up right in his face, which they do, and these Broodlords are in a bad spot. He does load them all up into the medevac, so they're all inside there. These Corruptors can get to work and take these out, but he is kind of carpet bombing right into a whole bunch of Zerglings and Banelings. So, wow, this game is really action-packed, a lot of back and forth. These Corruptors really hope that they can get the rest of these medevacs out because that would really help them out. So, wow. This is a very fast game, very entertaining game, a very cool unit composition coming down here from FluidTek. A lot of Infestors, a lot of Broodlords, and Cracklings, Banelings, all sorts of cool stuff. Marines push in again. We're going to see another engagement. These Banelings are not going to be done likely in time, but the Infestors do land very good fungal growths. These Broodlords are going to cut through these very easily on these red and amber Marines, but the Broodlords actually do go down. He's not microing those very well. You do need to keep those sieged as far away as possible. FluidTek might just be going down after this point. Looks like he's starting to get a little bit frazzled. Nagato, excuse me, is moving in. He's going to take out this Broodlord cocoon, which is very devastating. We haven't seen many Ultralisks on the field, which I'm not sure if that would be the best response right now, but you would figure that it would. Medvac goes down, another Medvac goes down, all these Medvacs in the red, bunch of Marines coming up to reinforce. Not sure if FluidTek's going to have what it takes to hold this off. All those Infestors just go down like they're being cut through butter. FluidTek actually very impressed with this mass Marine strategy, and it is something you don't see very regularly, but apparently can be very effective if you use your Marines smartly, and if you just crank them out, put them up to 3-3, they do a lot of DPS, and there's a lot of, I mean, we thought we had the right responses to try and take these Marines out. That was Banelings, that was Broodlords, that was Infestors, but the Terran player still just marching in, shooting down some tech, being very careful with his attack and not just kind of whatevering it. He's being very focused on the things he wants to take out. The Banelings do clean that up, but not at a very good cost at about 1 Baneling per Marine. We finally get a chance to breathe in this game. This game has been intense. It's been very fast. FluidTek just seems like he just does not have the economy to keep this up. He has 68 workers, which is, I mean, it's nothing to sneeze at, but ideally as Zerg, especially when running this unit composition, he hasn't ever been close to max. You would like to see him add a lot more workers. Either that or he's just not had the time to get workers up. Weird Spinecrawler and actually a weird rally point going up, or weird rally point for the Terran player, rallying straight into the Zerg base. He finally does clean it up, and I don't know if these Marines are privy to this expansion. You would figure that they are, considering they're standing right outside it. Here they go. They're going to be running straight into the expansion over here. Queen is not going to be lost if she's really careful. Oh, the Queen turns right back around and dies for the sake of the swarm, but she goes down. Terran player scans to see what was actually over there. More Marines pressing up through the middle, possibly just an attack to try to move those Marines. Banelings are morphing here. I'm not sure if he's going to have enough time. I don't know if he has vision on these Banelings. He does. He finally moves in. The expansions are or rather the banelings are almost done. He's going to barely get him out in time, but he does split his Marines nicely, so he only loses a few. Well, never mind, let me take that back. He does lose a whole bunch. He's being kind of sloppy with his micro here, and losing a lot of Marines to those banelings. Banelings roll in again, take out almost everything. There's only 5 Marines left in this medevac. This Marine is in the nothing. He's at 1 health. He goes down. Next Marine goes down, but he is forcing these banelings to be used at a 1-to-1 ratio, which is not good. FluidTek finally getting a little bit more worker production here, and it just depends on how well he's saturating everything. The income tab shows that Terran player is starting to get mined out. Oh no, he needs to really expand. There was some Zerg, or rather was some creep here, bothering the expansion from landing. He's mined out in his natural, mined out in his main. So this Marine strategy may have just ran out of steam. FluidTek is looking very smart for getting all those extra bases. Look at the supply differential now. FluidTek now up by 51 supply. He has barely even touched this expansion's minerals, and his gold is still really untouched because this expansion started and it got shot down by Marines. These Ultralisks will likely end the game, considering that the Terran player just has nothing on the field right now. He has 31 Marines, which seems like a lot, but these Ultralisks are at, well, 4 or 3 now in terms of carapace because of that chitinous plating upgrade. He's going to cut down this planetary fortress. Only one of his Ultralisks is in the red, but these Ultralisks should be able to march in and kill basically whatever he wants, especially if they go straight after this expansion here and take out all those workers, which he very well might. So, weird game. I mean, it looks very, very close for the longest time. Zerg player finally just holding off Nagato enough, and Nagato ran out of steam, did not expand quickly enough, did not think that he needed to worry about that, because frankly I also thought that the game was going to be over pretty soon in favor of the Terran player, but no, Nagato, or rather FluidTek, just kept at it, kept holding it off, and then eventually bought himself enough time to get this kind of unit composition out. So the Overlords being rallied down here to the watchtower. Zerglings are going to come in and start wrecking up the main. This is what I meant by this cool wall-in. He's preserving all these barracks with these supply depots for quite a while, and he has room to maneuver, but these Marines are still on a bad rally, and they do get taken out. He does not close up all of his wall as well as it should be, and the Zerglings are going to clean the rest of this up. Ultralisks are going to knock down this expansion. Zerglings are harassing these workers. This expansion fell while we were observing the interesting building techniques here from Nagato. Nagato's strategy ran out of steam, but really, really cool usage of Marines area. I have to say that if he had been more aggressive about getting his economy up where it should be, and not losing out, or not losing any of those engagements sloppily from banelings just blowing up his entire force, you have to figure that Nagato would probably win. And yeah, he does say it right there that he just did not expand enough, and I totally agree. So really cool strategy here. And this just shows, or rather showcases, the depth in Starcraft 2. If you ever think that Starcraft 2 is getting to be a boring game because everyone does the same thing, look around for cool replays, go search up new strategies. It's not, I've almost never seen just straight Marines in a Zerg versus Terran. Typically you see the Terran put out things like tanks to deal splash on those banelings, or you see them put out even things like Hellions to deal splash, but straight up Marines is really rare. Banelings are obviously a good counter to Marines, but you can still split your Marines if you are good enough to preserve a whole bunch of those Marines from dying to really effective baneling bombs. Another issue that we see here is the Terran player is sitting on 7,000 gas. There's no reason to have this much gas in this build, so this was one critical error that he made, I believe, is mining so much gas. If you're going for just straight Marines, you need upgrades for like getting your medvacs out. I mean, that's the only gas unit you're going to be putting out, as well as the gas for putting these buildings up and researching your upgrades. In total, though, that's only about 2,000 gas, and you can mine that much off of a couple of geysers relatively quickly. I mean, even starting geysers start off about 2,500, so you don't need that much gas if you're running for this all-Marine strategy, but it's a cool strategy to watch. I'd imagine it would work well if you played it out a little bit better, if you used things like drops, or if you had a little bit of better Marine micro by splitting them up and not getting just dominated by fungal growths and banelings. Cool strategy. It was a little bit sad to see Nagato crumble like that since he was playing so well, but FluidTek, you got to hand it to him. these expansions were not in vain. He was throwing down a whole bunch of expansions all at once, and they really paid off because he had the longevity to outlast the Terran. And even if the Terran comes in here and shoots down an expansion, some of it's already going to be mined out, but there's still going to be that annoying creep there that's going to prevent the Terran from actually landing expansion, so it really slows him down. Cool game. Really good players in this game. I would like to see more of stuff like this, so if you have replays that you would like me to cast that are actually interesting games and it's not just the same stuff over and over, go ahead and send them to me on this YouTube channel. Just send me a message with the link to the replay. You can upload your replays to any file sharing site. There's a lot of StarCraft 2 replay sites out there that you can just search and land upon. So go ahead and check that out. Send me your replays. Do cool stuff like this on ladder. I mean, the ladder is there so that you can experiment, and yeah, losing your ladder rank kind of sucks sometimes, but oh well. I mean, it's just a game, and it's all about having fun. We have fun here. We love replays like this, so send them if you got them. This is Sidewinder signing out for this game. We'll see you guys next time.